What's happening, high tide traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Monday, January 13th. Happy Monday, and hope you had a fantastic weekend. In this video, we've got some breaking news, an exciting update here with regards to high tide and acquisition alert of Purecan. We'll discuss the details, and I want to remind everybody as well that they had the news with regards to international expanding the Cannabis. We'll discuss that in the UK and the US, and we'll take a look at the high tide chart as well. Spoiler alert, it is looking a little bearish at the moment, and it's not just high tide, it's the rest of the sector. We have multiple bearish continuation patterns on deck, so we could see another leg down, but overall, this was great news in my opinion. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So we'll bring up the HITI chart in just a moment. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the technicals in the days, weeks, months ahead, and what to expect in terms of price action. But before we'll jump into this news, and as always, again, can't stress enough, not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I do own High Tide, as I mentioned before. It's a very large portfolio holding of mine. Very bullish on this company long term. I'm also trying to get Raj Grover on the channel and on the show as well for an interview. I did speak with him. He's been super busy. So when things calm down a little bit, hopefully in the not too distant future, I'll be able to have him on. High tide to enter the German medical MJ market through acquisition of Purecan. So this was the news of the day, and this will give them a majority stake in Purecan's profitable operations, German import license, warehousing and logistics infrastructure, and in development telemedicine portal. So the company plans to leverage its procurement expertise and licensed producer relationships associated with over 1.5 billion cumulative Canadian brick and mortar MJ sales to supply the German medical market. Just makes sense, right? They're in Canada. They're the leading retailer here in Canada. Why not focus on Germany, which is going to be the place to be in the coming years, right? And they also have, like I said, this news here with regards to expansion of the Cabana Club to international markets. So this will extend that membership program across the entirety of the United States. You've got the European Union and the United Kingdom. So this is huge news, in my opinion, just already adding on to the bullish momentum that the stock has been seeing. Unfortunately, it's an MJ stock, though, so it continues to get plagued by the brutal bear market that we've been in for almost 5 years. So Purecan has a strong financial profile. They have a run rate of approximately 15 million euros with approximately 40% gross margins and 20% EBITDA margins. I won't go through the entirety of this just in an effort of time. Most people have probably already read it anyway, but those were some of the highlights. Then, and we have an update here from MJ Biz Daily that did a great summary. So they're going to be acquiring them via acquisition, and that'll be 51% of Purecan right now, and they're acquiring them for 4.8 million euros. But they do have the option to go into the remaining interests of the company over the next 5 years after the deal closes. So that's something that we could potentially see coming down the pipe as well. Germany is one of the largest importers of MJ in the world, with nearly half of the imports coming from Canada. So again, High Tide, the biggest retailer here in Canada, just makes sense. Frankfurt-based Purecan is also a profitable MJ importer of the European country, the release noted, and Germany removed MJ from its narcotics list and then legalized adult use effective last April. And they just go through the highlights there of the deal. But there's some comments here from Raj Grover. So with almost half of all German medical MJ imports coming from Canada, this acquisition paves the way for us to emerge as the leading supplier of medical MJ from Canada into Germany, potentially replacing our market share success in Canada, Raj Grover, High Tide founder and CEO, said in a statement. This highly accretive acquisition provides immediate market entry into Germany while we explore opportunities for consumer research, with the Food and Drug Agency aligning with the ordinance recently signed by Germany's agriculture minister. Shares of High Tide trade as HITI on the NASDAQ and the TSX. Well, I can't talk today. It's been a long day. Crazy Monday. So we'll take a look at the chart here on the daily time frame. We do have a daily bear flag that confirmed. Unfortunately, I wish it was a bull flag. I wish I could invert the chart and say that, we were expecting higher highs from here, but unfortunately it's a bear flag. So we're expecting lower lows, and we did see the lower low, and we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. And again, this is just what most MJ names are doing at the moment. If we take a look at MSOS, and you're saying, why are you talking about MSOS? I only hold high tide. I'm a high tide maxi. Get out of here with your MSOS nonsense. Well, if you're not looking at the rest of the sector, you're not getting the entire picture. And you want to know what the rest of the sector is doing, because it doesn't matter if you're profitable, doesn't matter if you have great numbers. Look at high tide. They have fantastic numbers and fundamentals. Look at Green Thumb. Fantastic fundamentals, numbers, financials, profitable. And the stock's been absolutely destroyed, down 50% since April. So the sector does not trade on fundamentals. It trades on sentiment, hype, and catalyst, boom and bust cycles right now. And that's just the way, the law of the land. That's just the lay of the land. Sorry, until things change, right? Until we become more, once we get mass adoption, once we get, the maturity in the sector, as of right now, everything just trades similarly, right? If you're an MJ stock, you've been near 52-week lows or at new all-time lows. And I will say that high tide's performance stock-wise and stock price-wise has been a lot better compared to most of its peers in the sector. But MSOS is a daily bear flag as well. And we did have a descending triangle with multiple confluences saying that we're probably going down to around 306. We do have a triple bottom there at around 342. So that means we could see about another 11 to 12% of downside. High tide, its daily bear flag target. Like I said, if we just take our measured moves there from the high to the low, move it out to our 0.382 fib, after seeing the daily EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, means we could see a measured move down to around 277. We did hit a low of the day today at 296. So in terms of percentage, that would be about 6.6% away from the low of the day today. If we take a look at high tide here on the weekly time frame, we just had a weekly MACD bear cross as well, and we're set to potentially lose the 10-week moving average. So not a great sign here at the moment. We're back below the 200 weekly as well, and that should be very strong resistance here, as most names are kind of topping out at that resistance and that moving average. And we do have the 50 weekly there at 234, and we're also testing the 50-day moving average. If we lose that, then we have nothing until the 100 there at 263. So there's a lot of support in that 270, 260 area. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see another leg down. I don't think it's the end of the world though. If we zoom out here to the weekly time frame, the monthly time frame, we're still in a weekly uptrend. So not many names in the MJ industry are in weekly uptrends at the moment. So as you can see, we have our low, high, higher low, and higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So this is what you want to see, right? These nice higher lows and support levels being established on the way up. And as of right now, we do have major support at 287. That is the must hold support, because if we lose that, that confirms the weekly downtrend with a lower high and lower low. So we have our high, low, lower high, and a potential lower low. So we must hold 287. If we don't, then, like I said, that's weekly downtrend confirmed, and we could be heading down to EMA 26 there at around 272. So like I said, there's a lot of support in that 270, 260 area. And then if we zoom out here to the monthly time frame, we've been bouncing on the monthly time frame for the last 4 months in a row. This month is a monthly inside bar, so we're just inside the range of last month, just tightening range and inside bar. But we did have the first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. If we were to pull back to our monthly EMAs just for a nice monthly higher low, that would be a pullback to around 250. I'm not ruling this out, because we know that MJ there's not much going on right now, right? We have about a week, exactly 1 week actually from today until the new administration is inaugurated in the US. But as we know, there's been other issues that have been taking precedence, right? Trump came out today and said he's going to be doing an executive order with regards to crypto on day one. So, it's going to fall by the wayside, I think, at least for the first few months. And then, like I said, kind of lines with my thesis I've been saying for a while now, that MJ is going to benefit once big tech, crypto, AI tops out. And it's looking like that's probably going to happen over the next few months. And again, just looking at these charts, right, we could see the 50 and the 200 weekly moving average bull cross. That would be the first in history. We just had the monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but probably due for a nice monthly higher low. There's still tons of names in the space that have yet to confirm monthly uptrends. We're in a monthly uptrend on high tide. So like I said, high tide, technically speaking, is probably the most bullish chart out there. But, names like Green Thumb, for example, you can see here we're in monthly downtrends, and it's actually a monthly bear flag. So we need the whole sector, right? We want Green Thumb. We want all the leaders in the US and Canada, all of them to be in monthly uptrends, to be confident that the bear market's behind us and we're potentially entering a new multi-year bull market, right? We can't have, it's great to see high tide in a league of its own, so to speak. But if we want, all-time highs and 52-week highs and sustained gains, right? If we want to see a sustained bull market, we need the whole sector to participate, right? It's not going to be an outlier forever. And as of right now, you can see that the stock has been trending lower, and that has to do with the fact that the whole sector's been trending lower, right? So it's not immune to that sector weakness. And we could see rescheduling in the U.S. over the coming months. There's talks about, the first 30 to 90 days in 2025. We could see it happen. I think that's very realistic. We could see legalization of medical in the U.S. under the new administration in this 4-year term that we're coming into. I think it's going to be a great 4 years. Safe banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, all very realistic to expect over the next 4 years. And as you can see, it's been a return to growth, right? High Tide with their Cabana Club expansion into the UK, the EU, and the US. And now with this German news, it's really the stars aligning for something special. So I'm excited. I'm a very proud shareholder. Raj, if you're listening, can't wait to have you on the channel at some point for an interview. I know my viewers would absolutely love to see that, and we'll do our best to make that happen ASAP. Let me know what you think of this news in the comments section below. Excited to hear from everybody. We'll continue the conversation there. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. Have a fantastic evening, and we'll catch you on the next one.